Guys, the Ludigoon and Mr. Theodore Walcott has been back talking. He spoke about a lot of things. He spoke about coming out and speaking after the Palace 3-0 because he was captain. Yeah, and he's also been speaking about last season. He said, obviously, it was a bad season. I'll be fair to him. He said, but if I turned it around and flipped it on my head, I got 19 goals. That's fair enough. 19 goals. I mean, what's that? The second, if I'm not mistaken, it's the second time you've scored double figures since you've been here. It can never be more than 3. I'm pretty sure it's 2. So yeah, you finally gave a reaction at a time when people thought you'd be off, and a lot of people have paid for a career here and are still paying for not having a career here because of you. 19 assists, 19 goals. You scored in some big games like you always do, which makes it harder for people to critique you and what further polarizing opinion. That's fair enough. But then I know it's clutching at straws, but 2 assists, and especially when you consider he went through a dark patch, dry end where he got dropped and he wasn't necessarily doing things before the end of the season, that shows that when you're not scoring goals or things like that, and you're not laying on teammates, you're not gelling well. Theo, I'll give you it. In the final third, you're pretty intelligent, your movement and things like that, but you need to do more than that. Now, he's also said, and I've got it written down, it has to be this season. There's no holding back. There's going to be a lot more pressure, but I think we can deal with it. Theo again talking, just talking. You'd think this guy was there in the Invincibles, was there when Pep won everything, was there when Barca under Luis Enrique won the treble. You'd think he's there. Like, if it was just talking, this guy, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between him and Thierry Henry. Talks a lot. There is somewhat truth in that. Of course, there's going to be a lot of pressure. I don't know if you can deal with it because it's pre-season and it's a feel-good factor right now. But the season shows it. The seasons prior to this show, when the pressure's on, Arsenal tend to flatter to deceive, and we haven't gone the extra mile and done what we needed to do. Seeing is believing. Of course, I hope we win the league, but you've got to just somewhat rein it in. Seeing is believing. I told you guys, focus until December. You get out of December, you focus on January. Then you see what you can be said. But we're nowhere near that yet. So seeing is believing. Stop talking. Go and do it. He said this the last season. You said this the season before. He's also said that this is the closest he's seen the boys. You've said this before, seeing is believing. Show we don't care how close you are off the pitch. Of course, we need you lot to be friends, and it's nice for team cohesion. But you need to. The real togetherness is showing on the pitch. Do you think half of these United squads, and maybe even the Arsenal squads, but definitely because I've watched and I know for a fact, a lot of these players that Sir Alex Ferguson had did not see eye to eye off the pitch. Couldn't give a crap about each other off the pitch. You wouldn't be able to tell on the field. So togetherness, it kind of means nothing. I mean, you can be strangers off it, but if you're playing in the same shirt, and in my own previous playing experience, I know it was only Sunday League and whatnot in Eastern Junior Alliance, but I didn't necessarily get on or talk with all my teammates. But once we're on the field and the whistle goes, we'll die for each other. It's that simple. He's also spoken about the formation change, in which he says maybe he will change his role in this formation and play as a wing back, which was a cheeky answered kind of cheekily. He can't really say. Now him as a wing back. Now there's 3 ways to look at this. Firstly, you don't necessarily have to play with wing backs. Reece Nelson, Maitland-Niles have shown it. Ox has shown it. And I've told you guys, you can play with 3 centre halves and make someone in midfield drop. That therefore you always have 3 or 4 at the back, and everybody can go. So he could fit into this formation. He can fit in with the Alexis or Ozil, not their roles, but where they are on the pitch purely to get them in. You like to think he can play through the middle. Lull on that one. In regards to the wing back specifically, though, is one for serious debate because he polarized his opinion. He's shown somewhat, especially when Alexis came, he showed it in patches. And last season, he improved his teamwork with Bellerin. He showed his willingness to defend and things of that nature and put in the shift. But there's also been games where he's let men run when he hasn't helped Bellerin, when he hasn't wanted to defend. There's also been games where he's been basically at right back, well, near the right back, and he's been caught trying to dribble out of position near our own area. It's happened at the Emirates. It's happened at City, if I can remember rightly. It's definitely happened at Old Trafford. The season we won the FA Cup 2015, that when we retained it, it happened there. It's happened before. So if you're a wing back, you need to know when to and can't play. These are positions I know as a right back because I was one. I've seen him caught in areas you can't afford to give play away as a fullback. So while you like to think because of the pace and the way the game's gone and things of that nature, you like to think he could do it. But there's also some incidences where he can't do it, and the opposition has scored, and ultimately we haven't got the 3 points or the result we've needed. On one hand, I do like it because a man just wants to get into the side. You can't fault someone that is trying to get into the side. That's what you want to see, rather than people sulking like girls. No offense to my female viewers, and complaining that they're not playing. So yeah, that's my take. That's my take on that. To be honest with you guys, short and simple. There's not much more to be said on Theodore Walcott in regards to this. But seeing is believing. seeing is believing. That's all I can say. Seeing is believing. Show me togetherness and how close the boys are and how much they can handle pressure in December when the tick-attacker stuff we like to play isn't working and we literally just have to put the ball in the net. Show me it when we go to Old Trafford. Show me it when we go back to the Hawthorns. Show me it when we go back to Selhurst Park. These grounds that are left long stains in my head and cut my heart seeing us lose and get battered like that. That's where you need to show togetherness. It doesn't matter how much you talk. I could tell you guys how much togetherness and commitment I have. Seeing is believing. Talk is cheap. That's why most people do it. Doing is expensive. That's why many people have won the league. Many different sides have won the league with different managers. But we haven't done that. Because we need to, that's it ultimately. The table doesn't lie. History doesn't lie. Hold yourselves to hold yourselves accountable and hold yourself to high standards, and maybe then we'll achieve success. Anyways, guys, not to waffle. It's Deluded Gooner. I'm signing out. Deluded Gooner 04 socials, D Gooner 04 on Snapchat. Make sure you add and follow.